Good evening, class. I will be speaking on the lecture that Ron gave on capitalism. Capitalism is the dominant economic system in the Western world. The system of economic emphasis private ownership of the means of production. This usually includes market world economy, that determines how much goods, service cost to make, as well as prices that can be uh, consumed to the consumer. Capitalism emphasizes freedom of choice for both business owner and consumer. Capitalism is based on the principle of private ownership. People right now, when it comes to capitalism, own their private property, including private possessions, private owned land, buildings, private businesses, and other personal possessions. Uh, those who oppose capitalism, such as some governments, they choose to minimize people's personal freedom for the private property and private means of production. Uh, the government always tries to come in and try to, as you might say, be the next party to try to intervene to take away that freedom that includes capitalism. Uh, Now let us look at who invented capitalism. Modern capitalism theory can be traced back to the 18th century, called the Inquiry into the Wealth of Nations, which was written by Scottish economist Adam Smith. The origin of capitalism has an economic system can be dated back to the 16th century in England and on to the 18th and 19th century when the industrial mass enterprise began. No one person can be said to have invented capitalism. There was a very good example and good that he gave about capitalism when it came down to the lemonade, the kids in the community, how they were able to get allowances, how they were able to have monies from their parents or whatever, because they knew there was a lemonade stand in the community and they wanted to uh, take part in it by purchasing it, and this was private. He also explained about how just doing this from freedom, from a capitalism point of view, and how that if the government was to come in and allow and require standards of how much you were going to cost to buy the lemonade and just putting their part in it, and how it would be taken away from capitalism because the government had intervened. Also, when we look at capitalism, we have to look at uh, the supply, the demand, uh, the impact it will have on the market. Uh, some others measure that makes the market less capital is more scholastic. Uh, Free market is mostly how markets operate in the ancient world. They were able to uh, make their own prices, come up with their own solutions. But then the government got involved, and it changes the whole economic system. In capitalism, England during the 1800s, children and poor parents were used as laborers, and they were they was overworked and by greedy capitalists and underpaid. Just to be an example of how greed can destroy capitalism. capitalism in the 1800s had a dark side. As you always know, you got pros and cons to everything. The dark side, the Dickens and other writers were writing to the extension. In the 18th century, capitalism had fewer government regulation, which gave more freedom to the factors and owners and gave more room for greedy owners to uh, intervene. Through this greed and abuse, allowed Karl Marx to try and help people and stop the abuse. Karl Marx came in and tried to come up with a plan that would help and stop the greedy people from just taking advantage of the less fortunate. That was a very interesting video that Ron gave concerning capitalism. He gave a lot of great points, a lot of great history, and we know that our world the Western world is designed and runs off capitalism. I hope that I have said something in this video that will inspire you and help you to be more familiar with capitalism. Thank you.